Hello, here we go. We are. I love how I
Let
asked
me
the question.
introduce Erik Lingvall. He is the host for the evening.
Hello, thank you, Erica. I have a 3-year-old right here who's making faces at me, so it's wonderful. Here we are. Hello, everyone. We are still waiting on Jami Rudofsky. Hopefully, let's see. We got a text. OMG, I thought it was in June. Okay. Well, that is the world, isn't it? So here we go. Well, our confirmation was not as confirmed as it could be, but hopefully she's coming on soon. Grace, you can go and find her and reach out to her. And there we go. Hopefully she got her thing. Guys, welcome. Welcome, Jacob. Welcome, Erica. Welcome, Jaron. My name is Erik. For any of you that I've never met before, which is probably a lot of you, we wanted to let you know we had a lot of people reach out about this event, a lot. We are inevitably at our capacity currently, but I want to let everyone know we are on Facebook Live as well. Everyone should have received an email about that. You can do your Facebook Live. So literally, as this is going right now, here on Zoom, it is also live on Facebook at Jami Rudofsky. May, June, you know, who's really keeping track of the month?
Guys, it's been a day. I can't guarantee my child is gonna, here he comes.
Oh, there we go. I have a 3-year-old running in the background who is in, by the way, my favorite outfit so far. It is a princess dress with her swimsuit. So it's a swimsuit princess dress vibe. So it's great. So anyway.
A prince suit.
A prince suit. Yes, Erica, I love the lighting in your room. It's good.
I was actually just thinking
Really?
that same thing. Yeah.
She nailed it.
Thank you. You know, I got one of these crazy halo things.
Oh yeah, it's called a ring.
And I don't like it when actors use it because it makes big old circle in their eyes and they don't look human. But I use it bouncing off the wall and it works pretty well rather than.
Yeah, no, it's working really well. It's working.
Okay,
really
good.
well.
Thank you.
I tried to bring more light to my face, then Erica inspired me. So.
Oh, there you go. Look at this.
So good.
Great.
No, you can tell. As soon as I said, you
I
can't
know.
really tell. So never.
Hey,
You all
I
are
think
very
we
well
talked
lit.
forever ago. So hi again.
I know.
Hi.
Hi.
Hi, Jami Rudofsky. Welcome. So we got Jami, we got Jacob, we got Erica, we got Jaron. Yeah, again, so let me just go through some logistical stuff super quick. If anybody has a question, we got a lot of questions, but if you do have one, drop it in the Q&A at the bottom, not in the chat. So there's a Q&A option and then there's a chat option. If you guys have questions about technical things, if you're not getting video or whatever it is, I promise it's on your end. Not to be mean or anything. I feel like that was accusatory. It's just we know it's working on other ends right now. So just double check that. But if you are having problems with video, you can go to Facebook Live. We have that. So again, if you have a question, please drop it in the Q&A, not in the chat option. We have a bunch of questions we're going to be getting to over the course of the hour. We are going to be talking about auditions, just sort of an update from the perspectives of 2 amazing agents, 2 amazing casting directors / producer, instructor, amazing all-around people. This is an awesome panel, you guys. All of you guys have participated in Catapult in a variety of ways. You know, I really do put an emphasis on bringing in not just amazingly talented, but amazingly awesome human beings. And you guys really are. I mean that from the bottom of my heart. Everything you guys have done to support Catapult and to be a part of our tribe and to give your perspective and insight at multiple events and camps and workshops. It's just great. Jami, we met years ago now at an acting camp that was in Santa Barbara, California. And here we are today, virtually, me in Atlanta. It's just, yeah, it's all wild. So that is that. To let everyone know, we are obviously doing tons of virtual stuff, virtual things. We have a bunch of virtual events that are going to be coming up. On our website, you guys can just go to catapultacting.com, click on our virtual sessions. We have virtual summer classes that are 6-week classes. I'm going to be doing a workshop myself called Mind Up Your Mind, which is all about tapping into our minds and getting into our mind stuff. We're going to be doing a wonderful event. Look at that. Total Prep Youth Online. What do you know? And you know what's interesting, Erica? You are in the center of my people.
Oh,
And you're in
lined
the
up.
center of my page. I know you will. That will make you happy because you're so particular about everything happening in a certain way. So
Visually, it's
Yes,
got to be
visually.
balanced. Yes.
Yes. So we got a lot of, we have a lot of events coming up, guys. So if you want to go to catapultacting.com, our VO event is pretty much full already. Half our classes are pretty much full. We have our virtual audition gauntlet, which is going to be happening. Jami, you're going to be a part of that. Jacob, well, actually you, or is it going to be Corey? It's you, right?
I think maybe both. I don't know. Maybe one. Is it
Both
a
of you. We got
team?
both brothers.
Yeah, I don't know.
Okay.
I'll
We're
have to
going to have
check.
a
I'll look
Lawson.
at my calendar.
We're going to have a Lawson from Privilege, which
No
is
doubt.
great. And then Jaron, you're going to be at one of our audition gauntlets too. We got the whole crew.
Yeah, we got the whole crew, baby.
We got the whole crew. So we got a lot of cool stuff happening. So you can see all that at catapultacting.com, and then just go to our virtual services. In addition, I'll be doing a free parent seminar on May 27th. So any of you parents out there who are looking to learn about the business and ask some questions, we're going to have some special guests. It's going to be fun. So I'm going to stop my share there.
Can you do general parenting advice?
Just
Can you do one of those? Can I
don't
get in
know.
on that?
I am a very obscure parenter. I don't know if I would be good for advice.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just wondering if you had any workshops on that.
I think you're killing it.
Thanks.
Okay, so hello everyone. First of all, I would like to introduce everyone. I'm gonna have you guys introduce yourselves, but honestly, you guys are all such awesome human beings. I'm really grateful that people get to learn from you and get your perspective because you guys know this industry well. You've been working in it for a long time. It is a very different time right now. I think there are things that are challenging, but I also think there's some wonderful opportunities within all of this. So we can talk about that. I'm going to go down my line. And first on my left is my friend Jaron Matthews. So Jaron, with J Purvis Talent, I'm going to let you take the stage, if you will, the virtual stage. You can tell us a little bit about who you are, what you do, and then we'll move on from there.
Cool. Yep, I'm Jaron Matthews with J Purvis Talent Agency. I've been with J Purvis Talent for 4 years. Yeah, so I started off as, the intern and then kind of rose through the ranks. And now I'm the lead agent. I do like the title. It's kind of cool. But basically what I do is I handle the guest star series regulars and recurring projects. Let's see. You don't want to know about me, or do you want to know J Purvis? Like what do you want to know here, Eric?
Well, you could talk a little bit about J Purvis and a little bit about you. I mean, you've talked a little bit about you. We don't need to get into too much detail because
Cool.
it's really going to be more about your insight, but you could talk about J Purvis a little bit.
Yeah, cool. So J Purvis has been established for over 10 years. They're a full service talent agency. And we also we work with casting directors in LA, New York, Canada, wherever. So go J Purvis.
Go J Purvis. No offense, privilege. Go J Purvis. No offense, privilege.
Yeah, it's not a zero-sum game.
Yeah.
More than one
it's
people
great,
can
man.
win,
It's great. And you guys have worked out together. So you guys, it's like good. It's a good thing.
Yeah.
So next up, to the left of you, to the right on my side, is the wonderful Erika Arvold. Hello, Erika. Tell us a little bit about you. Hello.
My name's Erika Arvold. My company is called Arvold. We're a production, a casting and education company, and I work with lots of different hats at different times. Certainly a casting director is what I've done for 30 years, but I'm also a writer and a producer, and I just directed 2 films, and I'm the CEO of a company, and we also have an entire education division for corporate America. So I do lots and lots of different things, but one of my favorite things to do is to teach and collaborate and literally talk for hours with Erik Lingvall, because Catapult has phenomenal training. Always the actors are professional, even if they're new. You set them up to succeed in understanding how they need to just be responsible humans when they dive into their craft. And I never get sick of chatting with you, Erik. So there you are.
Feelings are 100% mutual, Erika. Yeah, I feel like every conversation we have, like we have to cut it off. I don't think I've ever had a conversation where I'm like, all right, like, cause not that most conversations, but, you know, occasionally, like, you have a conversation, you're like, okay, yeah. I'm sure a lot of people with me, I'm sure that's the, like, I'm sure I've been on the end where they're like, okay, we're good. But yeah, I mean, I think there's a mutual respect. And I think both of us are so much about better humans, like creating better people, as much as we are about better actors and whatever it is that we do. And I think when you are so passionate about what you do, it's nice to find people who share that passion. I know everyone on this panel right here is so passionate about what you do. I think it's a reason probably why I feel so connected with each of you guys in a way that you guys love what you do so much in every capacity. And Erica, yes, the feelings are very mutual, and I'm excited about our next conversation, whenever that is. I mean, outside of this, this is kind of like,
exactly.
we have other, you know, I think we probably have a few hundred, at least a few hundred people that are watching right now, probably like 100 people that are watching based on the numbers. So, and Facebook and everything. So anywho, moving down the line, next up, we have the wonderful Jacob Lawson, half of the brotherly love of privilege. Hello, Jacob.
Yeah, what's up? Yeah, Jacob Lawson. I run Privileged Talent Agency with my brother. We've been in business 7 years. In March was our 7th anniversary. Man. Yeah, that's crazy. That's awesome. Like a good chunk of my life looking back. Like it doesn't seem that long. Like that time has flown by. But yeah, I started out, I think maybe a month after the agency was started, working for the lady who started the company, and sort of worked under her for about 2 years, and then ultimately ended up taking over the agency and brought my brother on to work with me. So, so far that's worked out great. Yeah, happy to be here. One of the first things I actually did as an agent when I started working with the agency was I went to a workshop that Erica was teaching, and I got to sit in and listen to her talk and stuff like that. So she was like
I totally remember that. Yeah.
She was like one of the first casting directors that I actually got to see like work with a group of actors. So that's always something that stuck with me through the years. I repeat a lot of the things that she said and try to sound smart from time to time. So
hopefully they started out making
but yeah, she was one of the first people who gave me like serious insight into like this side of what we're doing right now. So it's cool for that to come full circle.
I know, and I love that. Sorry to interrupt, but I love, Jacob, that as an agent, you took you had the thought and you made the effort to actually attend classes so you could understand the marketplace, you could understand things from an actor's point of view. And I think that is a phenomenal asset that you have, your curiosity. And I wish every professional in every area of our world, of our business, was that open to learning about each other's profession, because it only makes us all better at what we do.
Yeah, I think that's such a great point, and perspectives are so essential in this industry. I know for me, that's something that's been such a focus of my career. I always feel so, career is such a weird, it makes me feel, it's like you've had time, you know, it's like it's been here for a while, you know, but it really has. Perspectives for me has been such a cool part of this industry, and getting perspectives from different people and in different facets of the industry. And speaking of perspectives, our fourth panelist, Jami, I remember, so Jami came to my acting camp in 2009, maybe? Something like that, right? 10 maybe?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been a solid decade probably. And I remember watching her speak and just thinking to myself, just sometimes you get these perspectives and it's just so wonderful. And I remember thinking, I was like, oh, you're just like cool. You're the kind of person I want to hang out with. I want to, you know, so we did. I brought you back to every camp to speak.
Yeah, and, I loved it. I love it.
Yes. So hello, Jami Rudofsky.
Hello.
How's Los Angeles?
It's beautiful actually today. I do have to put this out there that I'm a single mom and I have a 3.5-year-old, and I don't even know where he is in the house right now. So I may be in and out, and I apologize. Or if he comes into view, I'm sorry. Okay.
No, it's fine.
Now that that's out of the way, I can just, that's my disclaimer. But anyway, yeah, LA's great. It's, I don't know that, you know, I've been loving, so I've been casting for a long, long time. And also moved into, I opened an acting studio here a year and a half ago with Christy Faison and Caroline Leem, also casting directors. And I have to say, it's been amazing to teach this way. You know, some people are hesitant, but at least for me, it's been great because I get to connect with other people and still be creative. And I think, you know, being in the situation I'm in, talking to a 3.5-year-old all day, I need to be nourished by my students as much as, you know, it's a give get. And so it's been, you know, and as we see, this is what's going to be happening more and more. I know there's still casting pilots right now, and they're doing it this way. So it's amazing that we have this opportunity to even connect this way. Like, I mean, I love seeing all of you here. Jacob, we've never met, but see, here we are. Erica, I know it's been years, but like, you come into my like email box, my people, we talk about you all the time. Like, you're in my world. Jaron, I met you. You know, we've been doing this, and so, and you know, Erik is Erik, whatever. You're awesome.
Thank you. Tell us about you. I don't even think you talked. Did you say anything about yourself yet? Really?
Like what? I've been casting for a long time.
No, I guess you did. I don't know. Yeah, I guess you. Yeah, yeah.
I mean, I cast. I don't know. People know me because I cast a little show called The Gilmore Girls.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah, but I've worked in casting, and I cast a lot of theater in LA, and I went to UCLA. I was in the theater program, and then knew that I wasn't going to be an actor, but I loved working with actors. So, and that led me to casting, and
Here we are.
here we are.
Yeah, cool. Okay, so we have a lot of questions. I think a good sort of starting point is the current industry, where it's at as far as auditions coming in, sort of what you're, just an overall perspective of where we are now from the agent perspective or from the casting perspective, and then where you see things going. And of course, I mean, I know it's a crapshoot, but you guys have an insight that a lot of people don't, right? I mean, you have your finger on the pulse in a way a lot of people don't. And so I know, of course, for me as an acting coach, we know when auditions start coming in because people are reaching out and saying, hey, can I get help on this audition? Which I am seeing very much so, especially over the last week. And so I know it's happening on that end, but I'm very curious to see what your guys' perspectives are overall with auditions currently, and where you see them maybe like in the fall. So summer, fall time, end of summer, fall. Whoever wants to start can start.
Well, okay. I'll
Yeah.
dive in.
Why don't we start in LA?
Well, you know, I've been hearing a lot of different things. I've talked to other casting friends about projects, and you know, I think the industry is still trying to figure out how to structure production after this, because they're talking about, if you're on a show as a series regular, you may have to be quarantined in a hotel with the other actors for the whole shoot. And I heard from an actor in London that they're starting up their, they have like late night soap opera type shows, and they're starting that up, and that they're CGIing extras. So I think everyone's still in the mode of like, how do we do this and keep everyone safe? I think a lot of stuff is going to be done online as much as possible. So I think it's up in the air, but what I do find is that there's incredible opportunities for actors now. Like this so many casting directors have been doing these great like monologue challenges, or send us a scene. And it's all I know is that what actors can do right now is not stop and think, oh, I'll just wait till things start back up more. Like you have to continue it like anything else. It's like if you just stopped going to the gym for these several months because you're like, well, I don't need to be, I don't need to be strong for, when everything's back to normal, I'll go back to the gym. And it's like, well, then you've lost all your muscles, so.
Yeah. That's absolutely. I think that's so true. We talked a little bit about that before. Just staying sharp. I know, Erica, you actually did it. I think you just shared a video recently with you and Richard about staying sharp. What was it? Staying sharp in between, or what was it?
Yeah, staying sharp in between gigs. I mean, Richard and I are writing a book right now about how to sustain your craft artistically in between gigs, essentially when you're not officially working. And it is a lifelong endeavor, certainly for any artist, not even just actors, to be able to stay motivated and find things that one can do. And I think that something, really piggybacking off of your wise words, Jami, something that an actor can do besides paying attention to their senses and doing all sorts of work where you don't have to be in class. There's all sorts of things you can do, but really practicing the online presence is, I think, so important in terms of where, if you have your self-taping skills and you understand eyeline and everything, applying that to Skype callbacks or Zoom callbacks or whatnot, because that just the connection that's needed is so important. And that's that my corporate department, that's what we're teaching to teachers in corporate America, like how to do eyeline and whatnot. But I realized how to do eyeline, that was really eloquent, but how to hold a proper eyeline so you're connected, and how to move and how to use your hands and how to stay alive so you're not like a boring, really still presence on camera talking like a robot, right? Like you just want to be a person. But I realized just talking to you right now, like that's appropriate for actors too, because actors are going to be doing this interaction, which is normally in the room interaction, right? Online, which is even a different skill than self-taping.
Yeah. You guys talked a little bit about pilots, and I don't know from you guys from the Atlanta perspective, Jaron and Jacob, are you guys, what are you guys seeing on that end from an agency end currently, as far as what's coming in? I know we have clients. Well, Jaron, you rep one of our coaches who's Joe, and then another girl, one of our students, who they have some big things that happened, and it's such a weird, happened kind of takes on a new definition now, doesn't it?
Yeah, I know, it's weird.
Happened. Yeah, it's different. So where are you at with that?
I think so. I think a lot of things that we talk about, of course, this is all conjecture, but it does boil down to the dichotomy of control, right? Like things that you can't control. So, like you were saying, like things happened, right? And then now this happened, and what do we do now? And I think what we're focusing on as an agency is, making sure that we can do what we can control. So we're looking at our actors and making sure, yeah, sure, they're staying sharp, but we also care about like authenticity, right? Like that's what we've always cared about in actors, period. So other than, are you staying sharp in classes, or what are you doing outside of that to just bring something different to the role or whoever you were before? Because we're all, it sounds weird, we're all snowflakes, right? Like there's no like person, there's all little nuances about us. But what we're trying to focus on is like, even with, it's bigger than just your headshots. It's like, are you coming back a different person? Are you coming back understanding? Because we don't know what the productions are going to do. Like Joy and I, we were talking, we we're like, oh, what if this happens? What if this happens? Then we found out a majority of our conversation is what if, and we just didn't know. So then we're like, okay, so what we can do is prepare for the fact that, like, if this does happen, are we prepared for this scenario? And if this does happen, are we prepared for this? So say if something got picked up and we're super excited about it, and then this happened, and then now we're like, oh shoot, is that going to happen again? It's like, well, I don't know. But what we were doing before, we were so excited because we'd figured something out, something new with J Purvis, something how we could perform at this rate that we were just like, oh shoot, this is awesome. And then now this is happening. So all we can do is adjust to this new time period. So virtual. Now we're learning so much about Zoom, and we're learning how interactive this can be. I'm talking to Erica, and I've literally talked to her in person. So these interactions that we're having, we're understanding that now this is it's more of a rebirth. I think that we're feeling like it's not a moment of sorrow. I'm not so much worried, because what we've noticed through this whole thing is people love TV. People will watch TV. People want to be entertained. Content is always going to be king. So at the end of this, it's not like, oh, well, no one wants to watch TV anymore. It's like, no, like if anything, now we're seeing the power of this. And I think that's what we're trying to focus on. So whenever we bring in new talent, are we bringing in someone new? Are we bringing in someone that's bummed out about this time? Or are we bringing out someone that's different that we've never seen before? So we're keeping our minds open, and positivity. That's Eric. I don't even know if I answered that question. I threw that at you because that was on my heart, man.
No, it's okay.
But I just realized, I was like, oh shit.
That was a wonderful moment, though. That was just a great one. You were like in this flow. You're like, hold on a second. Did you have a question at the beginning?
Yeah, I was like, wait, no, because I do understand. What I understand is everyone is freaking out. Or not. Okay, sorry, not everyone, but people are freaking out about, I don't know, the direction of this business. And that's, I guess that's my naivety. I'm like, oh, well, no, I'm not like, it's just, wait, no, what can you control? Your thoughts and actions. So are you still taking classes? Oh, you can't take classes because what? Oh, you do have a computer. You can't take virtual classes. Oh, so you can be doing those things. Or if you can't, what are you doing to be inspired? What are you doing to be motivated? Because this will come back. The business, it has to come back. You know, like people want to watch TV. There needs to be more content. So, yeah, Eric, what's your question?
Well, it was to you and Jacob, just to real quick, but just as far as auditions right now, what you're seeing.
Sorry, yeah, got you. We are seeing a few. So like you just said, about a week ago or something like that, we saw like an influx of auditions. But and then like 2 weeks before that, we saw a casting company send out auditions. But everything literally is TBD. Like we have people pinned, and then like, hey, still don't know, but TBD. And so that's why I keep trying to tell people, it's like it's everything is to be determined. However, the business, they're still trying to do what they can. I see casting directors doing virtual workshops or virtual general meetings and everything. So I see that a lot. But as far as auditions, I couldn't tell you that, oh man, we're so busy with auditions, because the reality of it is productions are kind of on hold. And we have to come to grips with that, but they are doing what they can. I love that, you know, Erica said they're writing a book and they're doing that. And I know other casting companies, they're doing their virtual workshops. So, and you're doing this, Eric. So complacency. I don't see a lot of complacency. I do see
yeah, I think people are staying active for sure. Yeah, no, and I think that's good. And, you know, Jaron, it's like, so I think everybody, you know, this is just always, right? Our auditions happening. Like, when's production going to start? You know, like one of the questions somebody asked was like when are they going to start? And I think everyone is, they want an answer.
Sure. Right. Everyone wants the guiding principle, period. You want the answer. Like the unknown, that's so scary. It's like, what are you talking about? Like, you don't know when production is going to start. And it's like, reality is we don't know. However, will you be ready when production starts though?
Instead I think it's a good, yeah. That's a good perspective. What's it been like for you, Jacob, over at Privilege with you guys and where you're currently at? And
yeah. The one thing that I've noticed immediately is that commercials were the first thing to really switch it up. We've booked 2 commercials this month, and those people have shot from their home or from their private location. And we have another commercial that we're auditioning people for that's set up to do the same thing. So, Yeah, the commercial environment has adapted, and even a recent one is a SAG commercial. So I guess they've come to some terms with, as long as people are shooting from their homes and they're agreeing to use the footage that people send in. That's been the most noteworthy thing for us over the last 2 weeks, is to see like major national brands audition people from their homes, book people from their homes, and have them shoot from their property. That obviously isn't something that can translate to film and video, but that was like something optimistic for me. I mean, you talk about, everybody is speculating that Tyler Perry will probably be the first person to come back, and they're targeting a late July return. But if you look at what goes into doing all of that, they're looking at a lot of the housing from Fort McPherson, and they're taking a lot of steps that a regular studio television show who leases a property wouldn't be able to do. So I think a lot of the major, I mean, what I'm hearing right now, a lot of the major film and TV stuff that work under normal circumstances are targeting like August at the earliest. What I've been told is not to expect anything before August, which they may be trying to temper expectations. But that seems to be like the first window where they're saying realistically we could shoot something without the prerequisition of locking down a quarter of Fort McPherson. So the earliest major film and TV stuff, if everything goes according to the way it's plotted out right now, will probably come from Tyler Perry because of his unique resources. And I know that they're looking at like a late July return. So.
Got it. Okay. Yeah, I think it is probably going to vary quite a bit. I know that there are some independent projects that are currently happening. I saw one on Actors Access. Actually, the people behind the project are people that we know through Catapult. And the first thing on the breakdown is just all of the COVID-19 sort of the steps that they're taking and all of the elements with the production, what's going to be happening with it.
We actually had a casting director that I talked to. I don't know how much of this is supposed to be spoken about specifically, so I'm just going to stay really general with a lot of what I say. But a casting director reached out to me who has close ties with a production company, and they were reaching out saying, do you have any actors who cohabitate, who would otherwise be more willing to do an intimate scene, whether it be people who are married or roommates who are actors who already live together and share the same kitchen. They would audition those people. They would tend more, if you have a scene they're looking at it and saying intimacy on set's going to be an issue for a while, let's try to pair up people who are otherwise already in that element together. And I thought that was a unique adaptation that, if you can find two actors where it makes sense. I don't know if it's unique to my roster or if it's unique to the Southeastern culture in general, but I represent a lot of people who are engaged or married or long-term relationships. They're both actors, and that's what, hey. So that was a unique approach to, I think, get over some of the on-set problems that won't be able to be solved by social distancing on set, which I thought it makes sense to do that.
What an interesting thing, right? This is totally like the optimist in my mind, though. It's like a couple who's just been at each other's throats, right? They're two actors. They both had like waiting table jobs, and like both of their restaurants closed, and they're just like, and then they get this audition, and it's like they're
they booked the Notebook.
Like they just need to like make out with each other for hours, and it's just like the best role they've ever had, right? Like, but that is interesting. What a cool. That is something that had not occurred to me at all.
Yeah, I think a definite silver lining that we're already seeing from this is that people are going to innovate. Like Jaron said, this isn't going to go into a complete arrest after we come back from this. Like, people are going to innovate and find new creative ways that make sense to keep the show going. So and we've already seen a lot of stuff that's been interesting. So
I think innovation is it's a wonderful time to innovate right now. And I know we are. I mean, it's essential, but it'll be really interesting to see the way things transpire. I'm curious for you guys, because I think this is something that has come up a lot. Do you think that, and again, you don't need to get into too many specifics, but do you think that now with this Zoom world, with it being obviously happening a lot, people learning more about it, sort of a two-part question. One being that, do you think now more casting directors, and probably we can start with the two casting directors here, are more going to adopt the sort of virtual casting process a little bit more? And then secondly, do you believe, and this could be sort of to everyone too, that the actors who have been taping auditions more so like, I guess, for instance, the Atlanta actor who's been taping auditions a ton, do you think they have an edge over maybe actors who are now having to adapt to this? And just kind of your perspectives on that. Jami, Erica?
I'll dive in. Well, first of all, I feel a little bit, I don't think I'm alone. I think many casting directors, and maybe Jami, you're in the same place, but I have used Zoom for 3 years, especially since we opened the Atlanta office. And because I cast so many projects throughout the Southeast, like I was casting a film in Kentucky. I mean, my same production company that hired me at the same time for one project shooting in Atlanta and one project shooting in Virginia. And they're like, we know somehow you make it work. It's magical. And so I have used Zoom or FaceTime, and I always have an associate, that works in the actual production office typically, because I'm a production whore. I love being in the thick of everything. And, but my associate will be in the room with the actor. And if I'm not in that place at that time, I'm on FaceTime or on Skype and directing them essentially, or whatnot, for specific auditions. Otherwise, certainly my associates are great in the room as well. And then for in-person callbacks, if we had them in the past, of course, I would fly in or drive and be at the session live with my producer and director. So the use of Zoom and Skype, I feel really lucky, and I feel like kind of the rest of what other casting directors are doing, they might have already been doing it like this as well. But like that, I just am so happy that the world is operating like that, because that's how I've been operating, because I've had to be so many different places at once. I don't know, for your second question, here's the thing. Performance, preparation, authenticity, personalization, craft cuts through all the yucky stuff that people are worried about with self-tapes. You absolutely need to be heard. You absolutely need to be seen. But good production value versus great production value is not going to make a difference as much as your actual performance preparation and authenticity in that character, creating a multi-layered, dimensional, true human being. That cuts through all of that. So I think there's still work to be done in the Southeast, and I've had the privilege of really on a lot, frankly, of projects where I look in LA, I look in New York, I look in Toronto, I look in Southeast. It's a very open, and I want more than anything the Southeast and Mid-Atlantic actors to just stay on their game, because they've grown so much in the last 10 years in terms of confidence and craft that is necessary to play on the same field as Broadway actors and seasoned Los Angeles actors. But I want them to not atrophy during this time, because I'm telling you, those Broadway actors and those other pro actors, they are not taking a break right now. They're not.
Yeah, I mean,
that's my opinion.
Yeah, if anything, they're sharpening even more so. I mean, I know for me, for lack of a better example, because I haven't been driving around as much and there's just less, I don't want to say wasted time, but time that isn't specifically focused on doing what you're doing. I know for me, there's things in my life where I've been doing a lot more of, whether it's like running or just cooking, or, I think there's a lot of elements where I'll bet you're going to see some actors come out of this who just went full focus and are going to be, you know, just crushing auditions because they're going to be excited, you know.
What's so cool, and I would love your perspective, Jami, on this in particular, but like especially because I used to cast in LA and now, you know, I mean, it's been 17 years since I was in LA. So that's like, I'm so out of touch, although I have my really good friends there and still go there a number of times a year. But the idea of a Southeast or Mid-Atlantic actor auditioning for something and then there's something else appropriate in, say, 6 months, I'm so open, and my office is so open to bringing them back in because it's a developmental market, period. Everything's a developmental market except Hollywood. That's just the fact. Even New York is a developmental market. And, but people have these growth spurts. The artists have such growth spurts, especially in the Southeast and Mid-Atlantic, that, you know, checking in with someone in 6 months, you might see a completely different skill level and navigation level throughout a scene. And so I think now there might be some real magic that happens where people, I love, Jaron, what you said in terms of someone might just have had a huge growth spurt and taken advantage of this, this time. But do people change that much in LA? I mean, in the old days, I don't think I noticed the change, but I was also on very specific projects. So I wonder what you think, Jami.
Well, I'll do my best. My child is now throwing shoes at a light, trying to break it. I'm like trying to keep it together. I'm probably gonna have to jump off after this because he's out of control.
Jami,
you
I
know,
want you to know you are doing a great job.
Thank you.
You are a wonderful mother. Okay. You are handling it. You are a single mom. That is highly impressive. I don't get it. I don't know what I would do if there wasn't those one times where I could just literally like drop the child onto my wife and then go somewhere for a moment. So you're doing a great job. Just know that. In the background, we're all used to it. The fact that you haven't had a naked 3-year-old running through here is pretty amazing. So, so you're doing.
I'll talk fast because you can hear him.
Yes. Okay.
As far as LA goes, you know, I find that there's actors who haven't had as many opportunities are now very involved in, you know, there's been so many openings for them to get seen when they haven't been before. You know, we started this virtual weekly workout, which is like 15 minutes, but people can send in self-tapes either that they're sending to other casting people, and we actually give them feedback. And that's something nice that people are like, we never get feedback on self-tapes, like sometimes from your agents, but otherwise you send in a self-tape, you don't get any feedback. So they're getting feedback and they're like, oh, this is great. I didn't know that it didn't. And Erica, what you said about the self-tapes is phenomenal. Like people are like, I'm sorry, the airplane overhead. And I said, you shouldn't have even told me that because your work was so great. But when you told me beforehand, sorry about the airplane, then all of a sudden I saw the airplane, right? Whereas, and you guys, everyone should know that everyone knows that you're at home, hopefully doing your self-tape, and that things happen, like children, or the dog comes in, or whatever it is, the sound isn't as perfect, or your reader, like because it's online, maybe there's some, you know, spacing.
Break up. Yeah.
And no one cares. Just do the work and do great work. And that's what we're going to pay attention to. And I'm going to have to probably leave you on that note because
it's all good. You just hang out, do whatever you got to do. You know what I mean? If you got to bail, you got to bail. It's really. I think
so, because he's now trying to break things. And so I'm sorry, everyone.
You've given some wonderful insight, Jami. We love you.
Okay. It's great to see you all. I'll be back. Just tell me.
Back for Audition Gauntlet, by the way. So if anybody wants to see Jami again, sign up for the Audition Gauntlet, both the youth and the adult ones you're going to be a part of. You're LA Pro. Yeah, you're good. You're good, Jami.
All right. Thank you.
Love you.
Bye.
You guys are awesome.
All right.
Thank you, Erik. Yes.
Love to the munch.
I wanted to say thank you.
Thank you, Erik.
You're welcome, buddy. Good to see you. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Yes. I think that's such an important thing that Jami brought up, guys. Is it's people worrying about this or that, or it being like this or it being like that. Yeah, it's the acting, and I think it's a wonderful thing too. This is a great time to just focus on that, to focus on the craft of it, not worrying about it being a certain way or it being perfect or it being whatever. And I absolutely think that that's something actors can do. Obviously, all three of you are going to be involved in some things that we're going to be doing. I want to, because I know, Erica, you're going to have to get off right at 6, right?
5:59.
5:59. I do want to let people know about that because, you know, in this virtual world, it's also one where I think there's a lot of value to practice in the virtual world. And so for us, that's why we're really excited to be doing these upcoming events. But Erica, your Arvold Total Prep Youth Online, it's the first time we've ever offered that virtually. So people are going to get to work with you. They're going to get to learn through that process. The virtual Audition Gauntlet, where they're going to get to see Jacob. They're going to get to see Jaron through that as well, and Jami. You're going to be able to sharpen your online skills, right? I mean, we're kind of learning how to be creatives and embrace the craft through these various workshops and classes and coaching and our classes that we're going to be doing. And I think that's such an important part, is that instead of getting so frustrated with this world we're in now, more embracing the fact that we're just, you know, you're in your house, you're going to make it work, or you're wherever you need to be, and not getting sort of bogged down with the, I don't know, frustrating elements of it, right? I mean, I'm sure for you guys, Jaron and Jacob, when you're getting tapes, I would imagine you're going to be a little bit more, I don't know, lenient, if you, I don't know. I mean, where are you guys at with that, with the tapes you're getting from your actors? I mean, not on an acting side,
Right.
but I mean, it should be clean and it should be whatever. I mean, are there any pet peeves that you guys have with the current status, or is there, where are you at with it?
I just want you to rename your files so it's not randomly named. Like I know how to change that, and it doesn't take me a long time to do it. But you should, if I've been working with you for over 3 months, outside of the last 3 months where nothing's been going on, like, you should also know how to do it. And it just shows me that you don't care as much if you don't, like, you see it when it uploads to send to me, you see the file name and you see that it's gibberish. So that type of stuff comes up a lot more when people aren't going to their taping services. People don't rename their files as much. People are conscious of good lighting, good technical elements, because that's what the casting director is going to see. But the other stuff that goes into it, that's stuff that you don't get from a taping service that you get. It's not all the time. Like, most people are doing a good job, but that's one thing that sticks out to me, where it's like,
yeah, that's a great point. Yeah, I would say, yeah, now it's even more important because there are certain things you can control.
Yeah.
And let's be honest, the quality of your acting should be something you can control regardless. I mean, if I've been able to conduct, I don't even know how many hours of virtual classes with a 3-year-old running through the place and still have awesome classes, I don't know why an actor couldn't still create a compelling, performance and be able to really dive in there.
I feel like the performances have been just as good or better, because people have nothing. When people get sides to look at, they're like, thank God, like, they have nothing else to do. So the stuff that I've seen coming from our people over the last month, that's like, for stuff that they don't know when it's going to start, but that's all speculative and that sort of thing. I think that the work's been just as good. And, you know, a lot of people tape from home. You know, people get auditions on Sundays and stuff like that, and whatever. And people go on vacation. So a lot of the people that I rep have equipment, and like, the taping mechanics don't take a huge hit right now. And I think that the work has been a little bit better just because people don't have as much stuff going on.
That's what I was going to say. Yeah, I think people are they have more time in their day. They're realizing how much more time they have in their day. They're not mixing their urgencies with their priorities. So I've definitely seen an increase in the performance on our end as well.
Yeah, isn't that interesting? There's another gift. Again, this is something I hadn't quite, thought as much about, but because there's just given more time, less opportunities, the actors are taking advantage of it, and it's almost kind of raising the quality of it and simultaneously raising the appreciation, which of course, the two go hand in hand.
Right.
But you have actors that are more appreciative, they're delivering higher quality, thereby raising the bar just inevitably. If there's better auditions and better actors, it means you're probably going to have a better project eventually as well. And I think that's a really cool element to this. Erica, what about you on your end from the casting side and what you're seeing from people's tapes? And if there's anything, any advice you would give to that?
Well, I think two things struck me about what you all are saying. One, when you have a dog run in or a light fall over, not that that is the ideal situation, but the ability you have to stay in character through that actually proves, if something were to happen on set, how you can actually still have in character thoughts and actually welcome it into the scene. You can actually make those, obstacles into opportunities. You can literally adjust, carry on. It's like, the objective, the obstacle, and the adjustment, and you're literally practicing your craft right then. So any distractions, I think, rather than, as Jami wisely said, rather than apologizing for them in advance, calling them out, if there is something and you feel the performance is the best, but there might be something small that, got in your way and you don't feel it's proper, well, the way you deal with it is actually more telling than maybe other parts of your performance, frankly. So really embracing that, I think, is great. And then the second thing that is a way callback, but I'm so curious, Jacob, how did the folks slate? And I'm wondering if there's going to be another additional checkbox on the slate requests to say, who have you been exposed to? Who do you have no social distancing with? Is that going to start? It's a genuine question. Is that going to start being a conversation? No, I'm, neighbors with Tom Hanks and we hang out all the time. So I can do this with him. I don't know. People could really take it out of context, certainly. But that's actually really good information to know who does cohabitate with someone else,
Yeah, because I think when she emailed me that saying that to reach out and see, I was like, I have a few people who
real quick,
either
Jake, when you say she, are you referring to a casting director?
Yeah, casting director who's
people have context on what you're.
Yeah. So reached out saying hey, if you rep anybody who happen to be married or who live with other actors, let me know. And I was like, I think I have a few. And then I started going through my roster. I was like, I have a lot of people who either live with other actors or who are married or in a long-term relationship, whatever. But yeah, if you're looking at keeping it COVID safe, there's a zero increased risk. Certainly if you're talking about somebody that you live and sleep in the same bed with, there's nothing wrong with going to set with a person like that. So I don't know, whether it's you name the person that you're auditioning alongside with so that they know how to pair up your tapes, or if testing gets to a point where you can say I don't know if what it'll look like after this, what antibodies will mean. But if you've tested to have antibodies, meaning that you've had it and that you've recovered, if that has a meaningful epidemiological connection to your ability to get reinfected, that may be another thing that they ask, is if you've been tested and if you've tested positive for having had COVID and survived, so to speak. So that would be another thing that they could test and ask for, which may lower risk.
Yeah. Who knows? But as you said eloquently, Eric,
would that fall on Erica?
Yes.
Would that fall on you? Will production go? Would that burden fall on you whenever you're searching for talent, that you have to go through that screening process?
I think so. I think it would be the same thing as, or are they a local hire, or are they a member of the union? Do they owe their dues? I think that probably would fall on casting. And then of course we inform production, and then production makes, the decision, but we have to assess the risk and essentially inform them. So I think that might be a really interesting piece of information for you agents to share with casting directors, because there are a lot of actors, I have no idea they're couples. I'm like always surprised. Like a lot of actors with their relationships keep it very private, and it's cool because they're each their own entity or whatnot, but that might change. I don't know. I mean, we're all supposing right here, but there's a lot of supposition going on. However, that's what we all do in this business, right? We work under crazy, pressurized, changing situations. The weather changes, we have to pivot. Someone is, breaks their leg on a set, and we have to pivot. And like everyone in this industry, we are specialists at thriving in the unknown. We're specialists at handling things and adjusting for creativity to thrive, for good product to thrive. And I think that if we can continue to, Jaron, as you said so wisely, just embrace that fact and do our work and keep our own selves healthy and balanced during this time, then we're just, of course, going to succeed and make it through all of this. And I love the kind of, it's not blinders, because I think it's important to see peripheral vision, but I think that the peripheral vision sometimes of, oh, what's going to happen? Or, oh, how many people are auditioning? Or, oh, I didn't get feedback. Or, oh, there's all these questions that can get in the way of just doing the work. And, writers talk about this a lot. Stephen Pressman has many books about this. It's just about doing the work right now. And what an amazing opportunity we all have, myself included, to just do the work right now and be inspired, and so flippin' glad we are lucky to be in this industry and be able to be artists.
You're muted, Erik.
Thank you. One thing I was going to say to you, Erica, obviously I know you have to leave, but if people want to hear more from you, they can come and check out Total Prep Youth. That's going to be happening let's see, when did we decide that was going to happen? I'll bring it back up, but
June 10th, I think. June 10th. Yeah.
In June. So that's going to be great, and they can see more of you there. Before we head out, what I was going to just show people is that having your at-home setup, one of the problems is having a reader that a lot of people have run into. But literally what I've been doing is this. So here's me on a ladder, and then I have somebody, you can have an iPhone set up right there. You got the lighting set up. So you've got a virtual reader, and then you can adjust the volume, which I'm sure for some people, they love that they can adjust my volume. They can literally just turn me down via a computer, and then you can have somebody reading. And I've found that works out really well too, where you can do a virtual reader while they're they're getting taped at the house. So that's a whole nother option too, just to kind of show people what that setup could look like. Cool. Erica, I know you have to go.
Oh, I got 6 o'clock. I really do have to go. You guys, so good to see everyone.
Thank you, Erica.
You're welcome.
Great to see you.
At Arvold Official is all of our social media.
Cool. At Arvold Official.
Yep.
Bye. Thank you. Jacob and Jaron, before we head out, I just have some people are curious. From your perspective, people looking for representation or people looking to reach out to agents, is now a good time, do you think, to try to get representation? Is it, because there's a lot of different perspectives. Some people are like, no, we don't want to take any new clients right now, just because we're trying to juggle everything. Where are you guys at with that?
I'm not bringing anybody on until I know what the first month and a half coming back to normal looks like. The one thing that is good about right now is that I'm reading everything that comes to my inbox. So if I was slammed full with work for the people that I rep all day, most of the people who email me about rep, I just put it into a folder and I'll look through it like once a month. Now's a good time to get seen. So like to make a good introduction is nice, because even if I don't reply, like I'll watch your reel and read your intro and look at your headshots and that sort of thing. I have more time than ever to actually look at those things. But sort of my approach to this whole thing is like, I feel like I have an obligation to the people that I currently represent to get them a certain percentage of opportunities that are out there. Like, I don't want people missing a large percentage of what's going on. So until I know what the actual volume of work's going to look like in August and September, I probably won't bring anybody into that equation, but it is a good time to get me familiar with who you are and what you're doing and that sort of thing. So.
Okay, that's cool. Yeah, it's sort of like an in-between. I'm not gonna rep you, but I'm gonna look at you.
Yeah, but I am. Well, yeah, I'm hanging out before the party starts. You know, like it's a good time to shake hands and say hello. But yeah, I won't have
Virtually,
the
of course.
contract on hand. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
What
No
about
shaking hands,
you,
like-
Jaron? Where you guys at?
Yeah, same. Yeah, we're about the same. We still get the submissions every single day. However, yeah, we're not at a point to blatantly say no just because we don't know what the future is. But we are keeping our options open because we should have the emails I'm discussing, looking at. That's the great thing is I do have time to look at the material, where before it was more so, we were kind of looking at our roster and seeing what we can do, but we are servicing our clients, and then we're gonna look. But right now, like I said, focus on what we can control. That's our roster, making sure that we're getting them opportunities because that's who we're working for. We're working to make sure that you're getting your opportunities. And but I have reached out to some people. If I don't reply, you will get a reply sooner or later. I do have way more time to look at the material though. So.
Yeah, that's great. I love that. Yeah, and so to let people know, I mean, this is kind of a cool thing that the two of you are here right now, but then the two of you will also be at the Audition Gauntlet, separate gauntlets. Jacob, obviously, we're going to have you at the Audition Gauntlet for the for the youth actors.
Right. Yeah, I think that's right.
Yeah. So you're going to be there for the youth, and then Jaron for our adult actors. You're going to be coming to the Audition Gauntlet. I think both of you guys have done the Gauntlet before, right?
I think so. I've done a number of you guys' workshops. I'm not sure if they've been the Gauntlet.
Yeah. So it's going to be pretty interesting with this Audition Gauntlet.
Yeah.
Yeah, you've done it before too, where now they're actually going to be in a virtual waiting room, which I think is kind of a cool thing because I don't know if you guys, when you do these Skype sessions, it's so awkward and weird because you're just sort of waiting. They're like, okay, it's at 4:00 and you don't know when the casting director or producer is going to come on, right? Or in this case, the agent or whatever. And they're just kind of sitting in a waiting room, and then boom, there you are, and the reader. So it's going to be really cool. We're literally going to have 3 separate rooms happening virtually, and so you'll be in your own room, and then someone will pop up on your screen, and we'll have a reader reading with them. So it's going to be really cool. So that's going to be.
Is it still going to be? Will we have an instructor with us like we usually have?
Yeah. So you're going to have the reader reading with the actor, and you're going to be watching it. It's all going to be happening in each of your own rooms, your own virtual rooms.
That's
So
cool.
we got the youth and teen one, June 4th through the 6th. Then we got the adult one, June 12th through the 14th. So it's going to be really cool. Man, thank you guys so much for joining us, for hanging out. I loved your perspectives. You guys, dude, every time, man, I just got the chills. Yeah, for real though. I love it. You guys are such good guys, and I appreciate you taking the time to give your insight to these people. And if people want to see you again, Audition Gauntlet, and I look forward to seeing y'all in person at some point in the future. And thank you guys, and thank you for everyone who tuned in.
Keep rocking it, Eric. Also, Eric, shout out to you, man. You're killing it, man. Like you're killing it physically, mentally, like from a business perspective. Like, shout out to you, man. Really,
you're doing a great job for sure.
Thank you guys. Thank you both so much. I appreciate it. All right, you guys have a good one. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, everyone.
All right.
See you, Jacob.
Guys.